So yesterday you have installed Linux. So this is the interface that you will be getting out after the installation. Just click on your name and enter the password, and you will be landing over to the desktop of Ubuntu. Fine. So this is how your desktop will look like. It is having two icons on the desktop. The one is with the name of the machine that you have set on, and the second is the bin or the thrash icon. Right. So moving ahead, as we have discussed earlier as well. So this is a LAMP course. So we'll be covering PHP. More focus will be towards the PHP in this course. And what a PHP is? It is a server-side scripting language. Means we are having a client and a server over here. Client and a server means say we are having one computer. We are having one computer over here. This computer can be anywhere inside your premises, or this computer can be anywhere over to the cloud, right? Over to the internet. Say this is all your internet is there. Fine. And you are having your systems, your machines over here. These machines can be anything like laptop, or you are having your PCs. So if I have a computer, right, or we can say that this is a server. You all must be knowing that server is also a computer, but difference between server and a computer is server can handle more number of requests than a computer can handle, right? So this server or a computer is attached with the internet. You are having laptop with you, or you are having PCs, or you are having iPods or iPads. So these are a list of users. There are plenty of users all around the world. Fine. So users are using plenty of devices. All these devices are attached with the internet. Like you are using the laptops, or some among you are using your mobile phones. Some among you are using your PCs, right, for attending the sessions. So how these are maintained? All of you are attached with the internet, and this internet is further attached with the server, right? So your code and everything will be placed onto the server. Request will come from the user over to the internet, and that comes over to the server where the request will be resolved and the response will be sent back to the respective user. That is what we discussed in the first day as well. The same thing happens over here as well. If I say www.google.com, what happens? The Google homepage gets opened, right? The user is requesting for google.com. The request comes throughout the internet to the Google server, and Google server responds through the internet. It reaches to the user and the page gets opened, right? So server-side scripting means PHP will be working over here. It is not there on the user side. PHP will be working on the server side. So we'll be writing the scripts onto the server. The code is written in the page which is placed over to the server. So it is called server-side scripting language, and PHP stands for hypertext preprocessor. Fine. Please remember this because generally the students get forgot this full form. So it's a popular server-side language that is widely used for developing numerous web solutions, ranging from a simple blogging website. So with PHP, you can create a simple blog, a website which is having blogs, to a full-fledged e-commerce website like you use your Flipkart, Amazon. Every day you use plenty of websites. Fine. So you can have full-fledged e-commerce website as well. So PHP, it can be embedded in HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So HTML will be working as a front end and PHP will be working as a back end. And this can be embedded in HTML to build varied web applications and websites. Fine. That is what the COs of this course are. So if I compare about PHP, the top PHP web development trends in 2022, the ongoing trends. So PHP is very useful in developing the frameworks. There are plenty of PHP frameworks that are available nowadays. Few of them are Cake PHP, Gend, Code Igniter. Fine, you might have heard about plenty of these names. These all are working on PHP development. So PHP provides you with the CMS solutions, the content management systems. The core PHP custom development part is also there, where you can work upon PHP modules, completely independent modules. The CMS parts, the WordPress, you must have heard this name a lot. Drupal, Joomla. So all these are CMS which uses PHP development. The e-commerce websites are also created using the PHP. So these are plenty of web development trends which are going on in the present year as well. So if you consider about the PHP frameworks, there are plenty of frameworks: Cake PHP, Code Igniter, Gend, Laravel, YII framework, and plenty more. So these are the top 10 PHP frameworks that are used in 2022, but there are plenty of others as well. So this is the course content. The module 1, it covers with the LAMP technology, which we discussed that day. That LAMP, it stands for the Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Linux, we will be using the kernel of the same to execute, and Apache, it's a web server. So MySQL, it is a database. So we will be using MySQL as the database, and PHP, it's a hypertext a preprocessor scripting language, right? So Linux operating system, we are over here. We have installed Linux, which is the Ubuntu system, and today we'll be working on more towards the Linux, how to execute the commands and how to run the commands in Linux Ubuntu system. Then knowledge of various editors. We will be working on what all the various editors are available for PHP, and then we will be installing that particular editor on the Linux so that we can start working on PHP part, right? And then we will be moving on with the PHP introduction, operators in PHP, logical and conditional operators, use cases, then the function definition, function calls, and then we will be moving on with the call by value and call by references, right? In module 2, we'll be working on with the variable scopes, global and static variables, and some built-in functions, arrays. and how to modify elements of an array and string related operations. In module 3, we'll be dealing with the OOP concepts, and module 4 will be dealing with the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and introduction to MySQL, learning the MySQL data types. Okay, then moving ahead with the Linux part. Yesterday we installed Linux machine, right? First time when you install it, there will be one screen which is displaying over here. So you can refer to the videos if you are not getting this particular screen. So this is the desktop of Linux, where you are having two icons, the name of the machine that you have set along with the thrash. So thrash is just a recycle bin on your computer, right? So if you want to turn this machine off, just click on this arrow and click on power off and click on power off. After clicking on power off, you will be having three options. Power off will shut down your machine. Restart will be performing a restart of this machine, and cancel, you will be coming back to this desktop. So next what we are going to do is we'll be covering few of the Linux commands today, so that you can come up with how we can work on Linux environment, and later on we can work upon how we can install with the Apache and how we can deal with the PHP editors and MySQL installation, right? So very basic Linux commands. So if I compute with the Linux commands, there are plenty of Linux commands that are available. So Linux commands are available and they are categorized into file handling commands, text processing commands, system administration, process management, archival, network commands which are used for the network configurations, file systems, and advanced commands, right? So let's start with the file handling commands. So first of all, the command is mkdir. Why this command is used for? This command is used for the making directories, right? So how we can use it? We can use it as mkdir and then the directory name that we want to create, right? For example, mkdir Prabhat. Fine. So let's use this out in our machine. So for using any command, I go to activities. There is a search bar on the top. I click on terminal. That is the one way where you can open the terminal. So search bar gives you one icon with the name as terminal. Just click on it and the terminal of this Linux will get opened. So this is how the terminal looks like. Another way to open this terminal is, I'm just closing this down. So another way to open this terminal is right click on your desktop and click on open in terminal, and the terminal will appear in front of you. Fine. So there you can use any method, or you can click on this dotted 9 dots which are on the left hand side, and you can click on this second last option, that is terminal, right? So the terminal gets open in front of you, right? You can follow any method, any of these methods to open the terminal, and whatever we are doing, we are installing MySQL, we are installing Apache, we are running any Linux command, we will be using this terminal for everything, right? Like if I want to open calendar, the command for this is cal, and I press enter, it shows me clunder. You can try out these commands. So how we can try out? Like ls is there. I will be working on the same. Like ls means list directory, right? So list directory contents. So how to use ls? It will give you the list of the directory. Fine. The contents are desktop, document, downloads, music, picture, public templates, and videos. If you want to move into this desktop, it is a folder. So for moving it, change directory, that is cd, and the name of the folder. So cd space desktop. Press enter. What it is, you are coming the desktop over here means you are now inside the desktop folder, right? And you want to see what all files are available in this folder. Click on ls. So there are no files, right? Right, and you can minimize it. You can check it out. There are no files that you have created, right? Now what we will be going to do, will be using Mkdir, which will be making the directories. What the directory is? Directory, for the layman, you can understand that it is a folder under which you can keep your files. So how to create a directory? The command is mkdir, and let's say the name of the directory I want to keep is lamp, or say lamp class. Fine. I click on enter, and if you minimize this out, you are able to see one folder gets created, which is having lamp class as the name, right? If you double click this folder, there is nothing inside this folder. Let's try creating one more folder inside this. So how to navigate into this folder? That is change directory, and the folder name is lamp class, right? Fine. Change directory and moving inside the folder. You can now see that I am on the desktop, and in desktop I am into this particular folder. So again, if I want to create some file, say test1, where I am creating this out, I am creating this inside this particular folder. So press enter. So if I want to see what I am doing in the GUI mode, the graphical mode, just to minimize it out. So this is the folder which I created. In this folder, I simply double click on it. I created mkdir. Fine, and mkdir is empty. So this way, this is your graphical mode. That's why I have installed desktop edition, so that you can view what actually you are doing in the command line interface. And this is command line interface where everything is done in commands.
Yes, sir.
If you want to see what all contents are there in your folder, use ls. So ls means list all the details available in this folder. So it is having only one folder, that is test1. So mkdir, it makes the directories, ls list directory contents, cd change directories, pwd, it prints the name of the past present working directory. How to use this? Simply write pwd. So it gives you the name as home. Home, in home you are using the name of the machine. I have kept the name as lamp. So under that particular machine, I am on the desktop, and presently I am in the lamp class folder, right? If I move into the test folder, which is there in lamp class, and then I print pwd, the present where I am into the desktop lamp class and test1. You can check it over here as well. Fine, desktop lamp class and test1. Home and lamp is same in Windows. it is like your C drive, but in Linux, your home is your basic working directory where the Windows get installed, and LAMP, it's the name of the virtual machine or the name of the user that you have kept out during installation. So everything what you are going to do, you are doing it under home under LAMP. So VIM, it's a editor, the text editor. VI improved a programmer's text editor where you can work on the files. So it is just like a notepad. So you can simply write as VIM and the name of the file, say test2. Fine. And you need to give the extension as well. So text2.txt, right? So it opens the editor, but here it is saying as command vim not found, but can be installed with sudo apt installed vim. So what it is saying that vim, it is a editor, but it is not installed into your Linux environment yet because we have not installed anything, right? But you can use any of this method to install it out. If you need VIM, do run this command. If you need tiny VIM, do run this command. If you need VIM provided by the Neo company, you can use this command. If you need VIM by Athena or NOx or GTKX3, you can use this particular command for your installation of VIM. Fine. So if you run this command and then you can go with the VIM of the file name, you will be able to create a text file, and the usage is VIM space file name, and example is VIM file1.txt. The same way CP is there, which is there to copy files and directories. You can copy one file to another. The syntax is CP space source file along with then the space destination file. Do mention the extensions or the file type, or you can move one file into the another file or into another folder. If you want to put one file to folder, you can use cp space file name space the target directory where you want to put that particular file. This can be one folder name, this can be a complete path. Then copy, and then MV is for move. If we want to move the file from one location to another, we use MV. Do practice these commands onto Linux. These are very simple commands. Similarly, the file handling commands rm, remove files or directories. The example is rm space file1.txt. So if I want to remove the test1, first thing is to come back out of this folder. For coming back, I need to change the directory to the dot dot. So cd space dot dot. It will give me one folder back. So I want to delete this test1. So how I will be doing rmdir remove directory and the name of the directory. And now if I list, I am not having anything. So if I move on to the graphical part, the lamp class was having a folder name as test1, but I removed it now. So the folder is empty. So you can work on all of these commands. These are very small commands. If you want to delete a directory, then rmdir is there. If you want to remove file, then rm is there. So rm space, then the file name with the extension. Then locate, search for the files in a directory hierarchy. You can write locate space -i space the file name which you want to locate. History, it prints recently used commands. So if you want to print history, simply write as history it will give you all the commands that have been used so far. Remember, we started up with cal, then ls, then cd desktop, and then we created a folder lamp class, then we make test1 folder, then pwd command, vim command, cd dot dot to come out of that particular folder, remove directory to remove the test1 folder, and then history command to list all the commands that have been used in that particular session. If you shut it down and then you run and then you again switch on this Linux and then type history, no command will be there because the session gets closed, right? If you close this terminal and open a new terminal and you run history, there will be no commands will be there. In fact, you can open multiple terminals, like this is one terminal which is opened, and I can open another terminal as well. There is no restriction that I can open one terminal itself. You can open multiple terminals and you can manage your work accordingly. Then the pattern is there. For example, a pattern, it's an expression that describes a set of strings which is used to give a concise description of a set without having to list all the elements. For example, AB starts CD. It matches anything that starts with AB and ends with CD. So pattern matching is also there. ls start txt files. It prints all the txt files, like ls is for listing, space star dot txt means list all the files in the computer which is ending with txt, and txt ending with are the editable files. So this is pattern statements. So text processing, you can concat and echo are there. So concat means concatenation files and print on the standard of output. So you can concat. Concat means combining two files into the third file, like cat file1.txt, file2.txt, arrow file3.txt. So whatever content is there in file 1 and file 2, a new file with file3.txt will be created and all the content will get merged into a single file with the name as file3.txt. That is what a concat is. That means concatenation. Then echo, it display a line of text like echo lamp class. So you can write echo lamp class. So it will give you whatever you have mentioned. Like in every programming language you do the program of hello world. So in Linux you can write echo space hello world. So it will display hello world on the screen. So you can use echo $home. So this is your home path where your basic directory is /home/lamp. So that is that gives you the home path. What is the path of home? So in this way you can learn plenty of commands. There are two methods to learn the commands of Linux. The primary method is using the man command. So if you want to use man, say man stands for manual, and you want to know about ls, right? So the manual of ls gets opened. You can go with the description, the name, and how to use this particular command. So every explanation is available on your fingertips. And to quit this, type Q and you will be out of this manual. So in this way, you can use man command to show all the information about that particular command. And command, you can have the help command to have the help on that particular command as well. And the secondary method to learn the commands is you refer to the links and the internet and the books for various commands of Linux, and you can perform a few basic commands onto the Linux for better understanding of how you will be running the commands on Linux. So for here, I will be ending my session. So the task for you is to install this Linux environment and to start execute few of the basic commands. Thank you.